series. And if you want to check out our teachings, you just go to potentialchurch.com. All the teachings are there. We do have a podcast that comes out every Thursday morning at 8 o'clock. Would love for you to check it out. We've talked, if you haven't listened to the last one, we talked to the Kendrick brother. We didn't talk to the brothers, but we talked to the Kendrick brother about the show Forged movie, and it was good. I enjoyed that movie.
It was.
And I would encourage you to see
recommend it.
Yeah. So anyways, the new series, you guys know what it's called?
That we're currently in?
That we're getting ready to start. We're not in a series right now.
Average day monsters.
Nope.
Or modern day monsters.
What did he say?
I said average day.
Average.
Green Day monsters.
The modern day monster. So I've been kind of looking a lot, we all have monsters that we face. You know what's one monster is, and I don't know if we'll talk about this, but it got me thinking about it. Work. Because, some people, right now, some people are listening, you know what they're thinking? If you're watching this live.
We'll do it live.
Good job, producer. Good job. If you're watching this live, some people are actually thinking, I got to get up in the morning and go to work.
Yeah.
Right? They don't enjoy their job. But I wanted to talk about work in this way. I was thinking about the guy named Joseph in the Bible and see if you would like this to happen to you where you work. It says, Pharaoh said, it seemed like a good idea to him and his officials. He said, isn't Joseph the man we need? Are we going to find anyone else who has God's spirit in him like that? So Pharaoh said to Joseph, Pharaoh's an Egyptian, by the way. Joseph is a Hebrew. He said, you're the man for us. God's given you the inside scoop. No one is qualified as you in experience and wisdom. So from now on, you're in charge of my affairs. All my people will report to you. Only as king will I be over you. So Pharaoh commissioned Joseph, who came from prison. So he went from being a prisoner. He says, you're the man. He says, I'm putting you in charge of the entire country of Egypt. Pharaoh removed his signet ring from his finger and he slipped it on Joseph's hand. He outfitted him with robes of the best linen and put a gold chain around his neck. He was housing. He had a jacket, he had a ring, and he had a gold necklace. He says, you're second in command.
Styling.
Oh, look, he even got a driver, a second in command chariot at his disposal. What brand do you think it was?
Man, Rolls Royce.
Is that what you'd want?
Air.
Right now, I'm kind of big on electric cars.
Well, Rolls Royce makes an electric car.
Do they?
Yes. The new one's electric.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't big on them, but then I drove one.
They're cool.
Fast.
And anyways, as he wrote about, people said, bravo, bravo. Speaking of bravo, has Odalis written her apology yet?
Nope. No, she hasn't. She's not sorry.
You know what? She may not have to worry about going to work tomorrow. So Pharaoh told Joseph, I'm Pharaoh, but no one in Egypt will make a single move without your stamp of approval. That's a lot of people. Nobody can do it. So here's the thing I was thinking. Would you like for that to happen to you in your job? In other words, to get promoted, no matter where you're starting, to get promoted all the way to the second in command. Actually, other than the king, what are y'all laughing at?
Nothing.
Nothing at all. You're on fire right now. You're on fire.
You're just speaking the good.
Yes, Jonathan, I can see it.
Keep on reading.
No, we are not a couple.
No, not at all.
Leslie said
For the
that
right donation,
she
though, we
did
could be.
apologize.
I don't
What'd you
sign
say?
that.
Leslie said she did apologize. Are you sure there's not an apology there?
I didn't see one.
Sorry.
That's it?
Okay, hit the music. Sorry. All right. That's not working. That's not working. So anyways, to get back to my soul session is this idea, because I think we all want to succeed at our job. And we tend to think that the people who succeed or the people who get promoted because of who they know, for a lot of reasons that kind of takes the responsibility away from us. And I was reading this as well. In Colossians, it says, servants, do what you're told by your earthly masters. And don't just do the minimum that will get you by. Do your best. Work from the heart for your real master, God. Confident that you'll get paid in full when you come into your inheritance. Keep in mind, what are y'all laughing at? What are they laughing at, Giselle?
Nothing. Jonathan, man, he's killing me.
He's killing me.
It's
Will's tickling me.
oh, you're deleting. I see a bunch of deleted messages.
No, it's all good. It's all good. You're on fire. That's all you need to worry about. Let us worry about
Help me.
life and the hurricane and all this.
Keep in mind always that your ultimate master you're serving is Christ. Anyways, here's what I wanted to say. The idea is that happened. We all want Joseph's life, right? We know
Yeah.
we want to be the CEO, we want to be the leader, we want to be the one who has the corner office, who gets the gold necklace, who gets to be driven around in the car, all those things. But that's just the end of the story. If you look at all of Joseph's story, you find out he got falsely accused, he got sold by his brothers, his vision was laughed at and mocked at, right? All this different stuff happened to him. And I think that kind of goes along with the idea of Colossians, in that in order to get promoted, we have to, well, you probably heard that there's another scripture that in Corinthians that says, stay where you are when God called your name. In other words, bloom where you're planted. Yeah. The question is not, will you one day be the leader? The question is, are we leading today? And I was thinking of all the different jobs. Like, what are some of the jobs you guys have had? Let me know in the chat in the past. All right? Let me know some of the chat.
I made acai bowls.
Huh?
I made acai bowls in South Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, you did.
I worked at a car dealership as a salesman.
How many, did you sell a lot of cars?
I worked for 6 months. I sold like 50 or 60 cars.
Wow, that's pretty good. What dealership?
Volkswagen, Palmetto 57.
Volkswagen. So I was thinking about some, let me know in the chat some of the jobs that you guys had. My first job was the carnival. Yes.
As a one of the people who were
As a 10-year-old, I worked at a carnival.
Doing?
ride operator.
No, I put together the Ferris wheel.
Oh.
No,
Trust it.
me and my brothers would go. We had this big vacant lot, and we would go out there and we would make games. Like you had to throw the ball in the trash can, and you had to put the basketball in the goal.
I've never heard this before.
And the cost, because back in the day, for all you youngins, is you used to be able to take your pop bottles into the store, grocery store, and they would give you money for them. You could return them for money. So, because they were made out of glass. And there were a bunch of different sizes. Some of them, I think you got 5 cents. Some of them you got 10 cents. So to play the game, you would pay, because other kids were the ones playing the games. They had to pay with pop bottles. And then me and my brothers would collect all of these pop bottles. We'd have our mom take us to Kroger, and we'd turn them in for cash.
Huh.
That was my first job.
Wow.
I created it myself. Then I did plumbing with my father. Then I delivered the penny pincher, which was a newspaper kind of thing, actually, that my dad started. Then I sold ads for the penny pincher, which I was very bad at. I don't know if I ever sold an ad.
How long did you do it for?
I didn't like selling ads. I used to spend a lot of time in the office getting ready, because you can't go sell if you're not prepared. And so I had to make sure that I was prepared. Then my uncle was the CEO of Kroger, and my grandma took me into Kroger. She looked at the manager and she said, "You're going to give this young man a job." And that night I got a job stocking shelves all night long, from 10 to 6 in the morning. The next day I went to my grandma and I said, "Grandma, I don't want that job." So then I did sales at Sears, sold tools, got a commission, 2% on tools, 4%.
Craftsman.
Craftsman tools, but I made 4% on the tool boxes. And so all the salesmen, it was a cutthroat bit. I don't know how the car dealership was.
I'm
but
sure it's similar.
Sears in the tool section was cutthroat. And so some people would hang out in the toolboxes. You know what I mean? Because that's where you, or the lawnmower. And every once in a while, you could go to the lawnmowers if they went on break. And they'd say, hey, guys, I'm going to take a break. And one of you guys watch the lawnmowers. And man, that was a foot race. It's kind of like that sound from that movie. Do, do, do. We'd run over there. I wasn't really good at that either, but I did work there at Sears. Then I did screen printing because my dad had a screen printing. And then I did the accounting for the screen printing company because when I was in college, see, I went to a smaller high school. And in the smaller high school, you didn't get to choose your classes. Every year you had certain classes. So when I went to college, my incredible counseling coach never told me. I just thought if I took one class, I had to take the other. So I took accounting 1, I took accounting 2, I took advanced accounting, and none of those have anything to do with what I was doing. Then I had a paper route. Then I was a softball league director. Then I was an umpire. Then I was a substitute teacher. Then I was a youth leader, an interim pastor, a lead pastor, a church planner,
Quick question.
a gym trainer,
When you were an umpire, did you ever get yelled at?
quite often.
Yeah.
But I was always right. Like here.
Sounds like an
And
umpire.
you know what? Out.
Oh, you need a better.
Oh, I had a better one.
Okay.
Especially the people I didn't like.
Just get right in their
Oh,
face.
man. Shoo. Out. And then I was a young adult pastor, a parking lot attendant, an author.
Oh.
A best-selling author, and then a pastor as well. I say all this to say, and I can honestly say though that that there's not one of those jobs that I had that I didn't give 100% effort, except for the only one that probably I didn't might have been the plumbing.
I get it.
I didn't enjoy that. And I think the opportunities that I've had today are the result of giving it everything I had in each and one of those. So it's really simple, but it's something a lot of people never learn their whole life. I talk to people almost every weekend who hate their job, and yet they continue to work at it. And it's like that, the wisdom there from the scripture. We don't necessarily do our best because we don't like our supervisor, and they may be a goofball. But the reality is it's not what we do. We're preparing ourselves for what we want to do, and that leads to future opportunities. I mean, when we moved to South Florida, we didn't come to be a lead pastor. We came just to help with the young adults. But because we had been prepared when we got here, we got the opportunity. So I just want to remind everybody that's listening that the road from prison to second in command in Egypt wasn't an easy one, but because of his willingness to do the hard work where he was, he got an incredible opportunity when it presented itself. And you know what I've discovered is people who don't do their best don't see opportunities when they come. You just miss them, right? It's not that they're not there. It's just that you don't see them because you're not prepared. And it's real easy for us to think, I'm going to get prepared when the opportunity makes itself known. And the sad thing is you won't even see it. And then somebody else will take advantage of it. And then you'll look, and then it's so easy to then make excuses. Well, I'll tell you why they got that job. They know somebody, or, they've got this education and I don't, or whatever it is. And the question is do you do your best where you're at? And if you do, you'll get opportunities into the future. I guarantee it, because here's what I know. Every business leader I've ever talked to here and every ministry leader I've ever talked to are looking for good people. They're looking for opportunities to give more responsibility, more opportunity, more empowerment, which comes with greater opportunities. It comes with greater benefits, whether that's encouragement or resources or education or whatever it might be. And I don't know that the culture's ever been in more need of people who bloom where they're planted, as opposed to what's that like? What are those plants that you plant and they don't bloom for like 6 years? what do you, I forget, I was reading some article, but they only bloom once and it's like every 6 years or something like that. And I think a lot of us look at our work history that way, as opposed to consistently giving the effort that we have where we're at, believing that it will open the door in the future. And it will. And hey, I will tell you this, it's going to take longer than you think. That's always the frustrating part. Somewhere along the way, you can easily give up. And if you give up, then you miss the opportunity. And I just want to encourage you, man, don't settle. I've said that a lot lately, a lot of different teachings. But I think it's because I see so many people who are just settling for where they're at instead of continuing to dream of what might be. And you even see people today blame it on the culture, blame it on the politicians, right? Blame it on a lot of different reasons why they've yet to succeed. Stay after it, and you might be surprised at what happens in the future. And that is this week's Soul Session.